Okay, we will transition into a little bit more of the analyze tools at this point. So I'm going to start and go back to the map, and we're going to look a little bit at one of the new tools within Operations Center called Field Overview. I'm going to go to fields, or I can just zoom out on the map. We'll go to that same field that we were looking at with the prescription. And then I'm going to click on Field Overview over here on the left-hand side. So we've always had Field Analyzer. So Analyzer kind of takes you right in, and you're kind of looking at an individual map within the field to analyze. Overview kind of gives you a broader picture of what's going on in that field. So I can see here at the top, I can pick corn or soybeans. It's going to give me the current year yield, current year bushels, and then it's going to give me an average yield over all the historical data I have within that field. So we can see we got yield data back to 2009. We can look at each individual year and see what the yield was. And then I can see my average yield over all those years is 210, and that is kind of represented here by that dotted line across my graph. So I can see which years yield was above average, which years yields was below average. So as I would probably like to see, we always want to get better as time goes on. We got more years above the line here in our later years than what we do in the beginning. So hopefully that means the practices we're implementing on the farm, the genetics and everything we're doing is helping contribute to higher yields as we go on. If I want to click over and look at soybeans, I can do the same thing for soybeans here and look at the overview as well. So another nice tool here, we'll switch it back to corn, is the season overview. So one thing that is captured in here is our historical rainfall throughout the year on that field. So your line is your cumulative rainfall for the entire year. So we can see, in general, we came up just under 30 inches of rainfall to finish out where we're at here in 2025, 28.9. And then down here at the bottom, all these little blue, tiny little bar graphs down here, those are all the different days within the year that we captured a rainfall event on that field. So if I get in here close enough, I can see on July 31st, our daily rainfall that day was 1.8 inches. And then I can kind of go back through the season here real carefully and see what the daily rainfall was there throughout the growing season if I want to go back and take a look at that. And then down here at the bottom, these kind of brown, blue, orange blocks, so those are going to be when did my field activities actually occur within the field. So we can see brown would be a tillage event, blue would be product application, green would be seeding, again product application, then we got harvest here in the October-November range, and then finished up with some tillage. And then down at the bottom, it's going to show you all the different pieces of information that was recorded within that field for the entire year in a little bit more detail. So I can see we started out with a tillage operation on April 24th, worked 32 acres. We can see what machine did it. Then that carried on into seeding and our applications. Looked like we had just a little bit of replant in June. More application, and then finish with harvest here. And then if I want to jump in and look at any one of these maps individually, I can simply click on the button over here on the right side to jump in and look at that individual map. So lots of information in here. So the rainfall and the graph, that's kind of a new feature that's kind of neat to look at. So if I want to go back and look at prior years and see how they stacked up, we can look at that as well. So we can see the overall kind of rainfall in 2024 was above 30 inches, where we're not quite there in 2025. So currently the historical weather data only goes back to about 2020. Beyond that, none of that's captured, but we do have the last about 5 years worth of weather data there, which is kind of neat to look at and determine do we get the rain when we needed the rain throughout the growing year.